Alright guys, the Summer Games update is finally here, and before you jump into the game, there are a bunch of things you need to do first if you don't want to miss out on some of the biggest rewards this event has to offer. Between brand new skins, event rewards, VIP changes, a brand new game mode, and even the return of a fan favorite skin, there's a lot happening in this update. Let's get into it. And the very first thing you should do is save your points. It might be tempting to spend them on skins that are already in the shop, but this is probably the worst possible time to waste your currency. We already know that the Summer Games update is introducing a huge number of brand new skins, including several golden skins that are expected to cost well over 100,000 points each. That's an insane amount of currency. And unless you've been saving up for a while, you're probably not going to be able to buy everything immediately. On top of that, we also know that several summer themed skins are arriving during this event. Around 6 different characters are expected to receive summer skins, alongside several other event related cosmetics. Because of that, there's a good chance you'll regret spending your points now instead of waiting to see everything that gets released over the next few weeks. Another thing you should seriously consider is the VIP Game Pass. We already know it's getting even more content during this update, with Isaac previously mentioning just how good VIP is going to become. If you've already been thinking about buying it, now is probably the best time before all of the additional content arrives. Of course, if you aren't sure whether it's worth it yet, then waiting until the update releases to see exactly what's included is also a completely reasonable option. One of the biggest questions surrounding this update is the event currency. Nothing has officially confirmed exactly how the Summer Games rewards will work, but considering this event is expected to last until September 26, nearly an entire month, it would make a lot of sense for Forsaken to introduce a special currency that players can earn by simply playing the game. Previous seasonal events have relied on a similar system, and this update seems perfectly suited for it as well. Forsaken has also been taking inspiration from the classic catalog Heaven Summer Games events from old Roblox. If they follow a similar formula, there's a good chance players will collect a special currency throughout the event before spending it inside a dedicated shop. We already know Millie and another classic Roblox NPC are expected to appear, so it's easy to imagine an event shop sitting alongside them where you can unlock exclusive rewards. If that ends up happening, you'll definitely want to start grinding early, rather than leaving everything until the final week. Looking at everything that's already been teased, this event is expected to include skins for characters such as 1X, Shedletsky, Noob, Guest, 007N7, 2Time, Dusakar, V, Sixer and Noli, alongside plenty of other additions that haven't even been fully revealed yet. Because there are so many different rewards, it's almost guaranteed that some skins will cost much more than others. Just like previous events, the rarest or most detailed skins will probably require the biggest grind, while simpler cosmetics will be much cheaper. If you plan on collecting everything, you'll need to play fairly consistently throughout the month instead of trying to unlock everything during the last few days. Thankfully, this update should make that grind much more enjoyable than previous events. One of the biggest additions arriving alongside the Summer Games is the brand new randomizer game mode. Rather than simply being another modifier inside the main game, this mode is expected to release as its own separate experience, similar to how Swap Sarkin was handled. That means you'll be able to jump into an entirely different game dedicated to this mode, and there's a very good chance it could become one of the main ways of earning event currency. If that's true, you'll probably want to spend plenty of time inside randomizer because it could dramatically speed up your progress towards unlocking every reward. The mode itself also looks incredibly fun. Instead of sticking with your favorite killer or survivor every match, randomizer will constantly force you to adapt. You could suddenly end up using completely different abilities, or even have characters swapped into entirely unexpected roles. Imagine loading into a match expecting to play Slasher, only to suddenly become 1X, or seeing Cool Kid transformed into 007N7. It could end up being even crazier than Swap Sarkin ever was, and that's exactly why it's worth getting comfortable with different characters now before the update launches. If you've only been using 1 or 2 mains recently, spend a few games trying different survivors and killers. Learning a wider variety of abilities now will make randomizer far less overwhelming once everyone starts playing it. Of course, if you don't want to spend weeks grinding for every cosmetic, there's a good chance you'll also be able to purchase event rewards using Robux, similar to how the Azure event worked. Another emote pack is also expected to be available through Robux, giving players another option if they don't have time to complete the entire event naturally. Another major thing players have been waiting for is the return of Grolucian, or rather its replacement. Since the original version used Colosseum's face, changes had to be made before it could return publicly. The overall design isn't expected to change too drastically, but it should finally become available for everyone instead of remaining exclusive. Rather than requiring VIP, you'll most likely unlock it through an achievement, making it accessible to every player willing to earn it. There has been plenty of discussion surrounding the redesign, especially after people spotted the replacement appearing in Fawn's thumbnail. Some players are worried about how different it might look, while others believe the replacement has only received minor changes and was actually planned much earlier than everyone realized. Either way, you'll finally get to see exactly what it looks like very soon. Another thing you should definitely do before the Summer Games update drops is make sure you've completed as many of your current milestones, in case there are redesigns for the current milestone skins, as when the update releases, everyone is going to be focused on unlocking the brand new content, meaning it will be impossible to get the legacy milestone skins if they get changed during this update. You should also expect the player count to absolutely explode once the update goes live. Every major Forsaken update brings back a huge number of returning players, and this one is easily one of the biggest we've seen in a long time. That means servers are probably going to be much busier than usual, and there is always the possibility of small bugs, queues, or even temporary issues during the first few hours after release. If something doesn't work immediately, don't panic. That's completely normal whenever a massive update launches, and the developers usually fix any major problems fairly quickly. One thing I'm personally looking forward to the most is seeing all of the community's reactions. We've been talking about these skins, redesigns, and game modes for weeks now, and after all of the teasers, we're finally going to see whether they actually live up to the hype. Some skins will probably become instant fan favorites, while others might completely surprise everyone. That's honestly one of the best parts of Update Day, because nobody really knows what the community is going to love until everyone starts playing. And finally, don't rush to spend every single point or event currency the second you unlock it. Take a few minutes to look through every reward first. There might be skins that you like far more than others, and if the better rewards end up costing significantly more currency, you'll be glad you waited instead of buying the first thing you saw. With an event expected to last around a month, there's no reason to panic buy anything straight away. Also remember is that this Summer Games update isn't the end of Forsaken's roadmap. We already know that Double Trouble is still planned for a future update, alongside more milestone redesigns and additional content later this year. So even if everything you've been waiting for doesn't arrive today, there's still a huge amount planned beyond the Summer Games event. So before you jump into the update, make sure you've saved your points, decide whether the VIP Game Pass is worth picking up, prepare yourself for the randomizer mode, and get ready for what could easily become one of Forsaken's biggest events yet. If the developers keep releasing updates like this, Forsaken could genuinely be entering one of its strongest periods in a long time. Are you ready for this update? Like and subscribe right now.